I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Let me start that again, people. Welcome, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is Straightjacket Podcast 246. I know we met at Old Trafford, Nuruddin, but that was on a hot day. Today's raining. Today's welcome back to Manchester.
Welcome back
but
to
Nuruddin,
Manchester settings.
yeah, welcome back to Manchester. Welcome back to reality. Back to life, back to reality. But Nuruddin, how are you on this Monday evening? What are you saying, bro? How's everything blessed?
You know what? I'm good. I'm good. Listen, you know what? Actually, last night I got out in the rain. I was when it was coming down. It's probably the best time I've ever been out in the rain because it was warm and it was warm rain. It wasn't a cold rain.
Okay.
And you know me, I love nature, so I was out in it, getting drenched, bro. I was out in it, bro. So it was a blessing. It's a blessing. And I tell people in the morning about the rain too much. That I also do that. Everybody does that. There are people starving around the world because there's no rain, bro. So we have to keep it 100. You know what I mean? But big up to you,
man.
I saw you over the weekend. Saw then.
Sidemen match. I was in the Sidemen match.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sidemen, make some good money for charity. So that's
Big
very,
up to
very good
everybody.
cause in that one. Yeah, big up to everybody who was there, man. You know what I'm saying to you. And also, I want to say, man, solidarity with the cats just took over there. Solidarity with the people in Morocco as well, man. You know what I mean? And devastating news.
My word, my
I
heart
think it was
breaks,
Saturday
man.
morning. Was it Saturday morning? Yeah, I heard about it. Situation. You know, so I want to say, man, condolences to all the people who lost their lives in Morocco. Very, very sad situation, man. Earthquakes are no laughing matter, man. Natural disaster. So, you know what? For those that are from Morocco, thoughts are with you. And everyone, Greece, I think as well. There's stuff happening in Greece as well with the wildfires and stuff like that and flooding. So yeah, prayers to them as well, man. And anyone who's suffering in the world right now, you know, prayers to you. And yeah, man, tough time. When we're talking about football and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's secondary to what is life, you know, and other things like that. So yeah, before we do that, I wanted to quickly mention that. Big up to everybody who's here. Over 500 already in the building. Nuruddin, we are Netflix FC. You probably, you know what? I blame you, Nuruddin, you know, because I remember you said that 4 or 5 years ago, Nuruddin, yeah? You called Man United Netflix FC. And I think you've done something. And now it's literally speaking into existence right now. Like, we are Netflix. When I look at Man United, I'm not even lying to you. Antony, and we'll talk about Antony in a minute, he put out WhatsApp messages. I think it must have been just after midnight because it was 10 hours after I kind of woke up, etc., etc. So when you look at it, like, we're getting more statements and more things from Man United than I've ever seen before. I've seen a statement about the TRA, apparently, something wrong with the TRA. Apparently, they're not doing something. Again, another statement that Man United put out that come underneath everything. But Nuruddin, Netflix, bro, I'm telling you now, man, we are making our own drama. What do you make of it? And we'll get into it as much as we can, but Netflix FC, bro, what are you saying?
So I nobody. A couple of weeks, I'm not anybody say to me I'm negative, and usually it was a toxic positivity FC that were coming for me, and now I'm like, okay, nobody's saying that because I've been telling it as it is for a long time that this club is toxic, and you're not gonna fix it. All you're doing is putting a little plaster on a very massive wound. That's all we're doing, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. Can people hear me? All right.
Yeah, you can hear you now. I think you were maybe you're on the internet or something because that's what happens sometimes when you're on the internet, it might stop. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I just look at it and I think Manchester United are what they are in terms of where we are. These things didn't happen in a vacuum. Obviously, no other club could ever think that the players being involved in serious allegations when it comes to their partners or their girlfriends or whatever. That is something that club can't control. But what they can control, we saw it with the Greenwood thing. They can't even control how serious the allegations were. And I thought they can just, sweep it under the carpet and bring him back. It's not happening. So at the end of the day, for me, I knew when it comes to Antony, Manchester United, and I told you, remember, we spoke about it outside OT. We didn't know then, but I said to you, Brazil dropping him has dropped Manchester United in it. And also the Greenwood situation. I said it on that video, people. Go and check that out. We were OT, but before we were out.
Yeah, before the Glazers found out who we were, they said, "Get them two out there. Them mischievous guys. Get them out, mate. They're trouble."
Can't have any truth telling. Neil Ashton, mate. Neil Ashton told the security to get us out of there. Get us out of there. They're probably watching us on the CCTV. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, when I look at it, I knew Brazil dropping him on the Greenwood thing. Antony, it's one allegation, it's one thing, but two other people coming out and basically saying that he's a wrong un is Manchester United to do something, because as I said to you, that Saturday, everything's going to be around Antony and all the press and all the media, everything's going to be around that. So you just take him out of it. Even though both his statement, Manchester United and his statement, are like, we came into... No, Manchester United are basically saying, Antony, too much heat at the moment, take a chill. Relax, lads, relax. And I knew that was coming. And I predicted that as well. I said, Manchester, if Brazil didn't drop him, the Greenwood thing didn't happen, they would have had to wait like most footballers who have allegations against him till he went to court or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna read the statement.
United, unless Manchester United have seen it more damning evidence that they're not willing to share.
Let me
by the way,
bring
Manchester United have made more statements. Manchester United have made more statements. I want to correct this. We've got more statements than goals and wins this season so far.
Let me bring the Antony statement, or would I say, for me, it's not a statement. He revealed the WhatsApp messages, and I think for me, I don't think he should have done that. This is my own personal opinion, because it doesn't help his case. When you put stuff out there, people, and you put it out into the open media, the court can say to you, you know what, that evidence is now inadmissible. It may not help you in the case, and it could actually do more harm than good for you. You should give it to the people who are involved, your lawyers and whoever's involved in that, and let the justice system do whatever and obviously work in your favor. Let me bring in Aaron in the building. Aaron, how you doing, my bro? Everything all bless?
Everything blessed, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. We're just literally gonna discuss Antony's WhatsApp messages yesterday. I'm gonna put it on the screen right now. I'm gonna read you the transcript rather than the WhatsApp messages, because obviously they're in Brazilian, so we don't know that. So, breaking news: Antony has just shared stories on his stories, a portion of the conversation which one of the women who was accused him of assault, Ingrid Lano, a 33-year-old banker, after accusing Antony of assaulting her for not wanting to engage in sexual relations with the player. The Manchester United forward released some screenshots. This is the transcript. Antony says, anything you say, he'll come along. Ingrid, if you want, I'll wait for you naked in bed. Antony says, sounds good, darling. Antony then says, I just landed now. Did you sleep? Are you there? Don't disappear, my beauty. The next day, Ingrid, are you coming back, my love? I'm going for a walk around here. Let me know if you're coming back. Kisses. Ingrid says, may God be with you. I'm headed to the airport shortly. I want you to meet you, knowing that regardless of agenda, because we couldn't get it right, you are light. God is with you. It may not seem like it, but it's still the beginning of many blessings, just not material, special, spiritual. We take nothing from this world. What we leave behind is our legacy and memories. Kiss. See you another day. Ingrid, after an audio message from Antony, don't get mad. Ingrid, after a video call, I got excited. When I see you? Ingrid says, would never harm you. Don't you trust me? Antony, after Ingrid's audio, says, it's just a matter of trust. I just find it bad to keep taking screenshots of the screen. That's not cool. So please delete that. I trust you, but I didn't think your behavior was cool. Ingrid says, okay, Antony, thank you for trusting me. I came from far away to see you, and you don't trust me. Are you not going to respond? Antony, I deleted it. Are you going to be mad at me? I just need to delete it from the cloud. I don't know how. Ingrid says, talk to me. Can I have a photo so I can get... Yeah, that's wild. Excited here. So yeah, basically, that's that. You know what I mean? I don't know, like I said to you, if he's had second thoughts and, it looks to me that he's wanted something to happen. And obviously she's now bro, wait, what's going on, man? You're not talking to me. Da, 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 da. And he's then kind of saying, I don't know, man. You took some screenshots, etc., etc. And you know what, man? I'm not really feeling that, etc. But Aaron, I'll come to you, man. Then WhatsApp messages, should he put them out there? Should he be defending himself like that, Aaron? Where do you look at it from that point of view?
This is a very, very delicate situation, but what can I say to that? I feel like Antony is. I get that he's trying to prove that he's innocent. I get that, but I think in an investigation like this, especially the level is set at the moment. I think you should let the people who are in charge of this, let them deal with all the evidence, let them deal with all the screenshots, the conversations, the phone calls and all of that, because everything's getting leaked now. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody's involved in the case because everything's so public. I've seen that there's a transcript on Twitter that just came out of a phone call between two people. I forgot who it was.
Yes, I've seen that one as well. I think the United stand got that.
Exactly, yeah.
It got leaked. So yeah.
So because of that, now everybody's involved, and there's no exclusivity now. Everybody's gonna know the details. When in reality, these things should be in the hands of lawyers and all of these people. Do you know what I mean? And I also think, because these allegations are quite severe, there's the part of me that feels like Antony's doing a bit too much in trying to prove his innocence. Like, just stay calm, relax. All the evidence you have, give all the screenshots, whatever you have, give them to your lawyers and let them deal with it. The whole coming out doing the interview, I thought that was a bit forced. That was a bit trying to come out
very
too
drama.
Yeah.
100%.
Trying to come out too quick and say I didn't do it. Obviously, all of these things are alleged, but listen, let your lawyers deal with all these things, bro. Do you know what I mean? Let them deal with all these things. For him to come out and leak all of these things, what else are you going to leak then? Do you know what I mean? There's too many things coming out, and I don't think the public should be aware of these things.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. And people today was on me saying, "Oh well, social media won't believe him." I said, "Listen, social media shouldn't. That's social media. That's their own vacuum. Like, that's a whole different world. If people were shout out to Scolzy, but if people were looking at Scolzy, can you move, mate? Because I'm trying to do a podcast here. Scolzy, come on, man. What's going on, mate? Yeah, man. You've had your time on the football pitch. Move over. You know what it is, yeah." When I look at it, though, I'm like, yeah, but why does everyone want to prove it on social media? Like, is that how bad it's also an indictment of the justice system, Nuruddin, that we now have to believe it on social media and believe it in the court of law. But when you look at domestic violence cases, rape cases, they don't always get an outcome, Nuruddin. And for footballers now, they're thinking, right, if I put it mostly on social media and I do a lot and I convince people, then when the outcome isn't clear, then I can, at least social media will now say, you know what? He looked sincere. He looked innocent. When in reality, we don't know. Like, nobody knows. But it just shows you how bad the justice system is for these sort of cases.
Yeah, but
there's a domestic violence and rape case.
Like, footballers have always had this in it. Famous people have always had these allegations. It's littered through our history. And we have to put the two things aside. I was laughing a bit. I was laughing at the text messages. So it was really out. Because it sounds like,
I know.
Like, remember Late Night Hollyoaks?
Yeah.
That late night, that 18, like that 18 version of Hollyoaks, Midnight Hollyoaks. That's what it sounded like. A plot from then. That's what it sounded like. But at the end of the day, serious allegations. So we don't make light of that. These are allegations. I don't know what that actual victim that he released the stuff about, what she was alleging. But what is now, what's the conundrum? Is it the word? For football?
Conundrum,
yeah. The
conundrum, conundrum.
Public opinion carries so much weight. So you're in the court of public opinion. You're in the court of public opinion, and so you have to fight with fire, right? That's how he sees. And by the way, anybody who's saying, "Oh yeah, listen," that person I think he's replying to is somebody different. It's not his partner who's got a kid with, his ex-partner who's got the kid with. Am I right?
Yeah.
So
I get what you mean.
that's somebody else who said, he's a dodgy guy, or he did this to me, he made me feel whatever. She's
the next victim. She's the next victim. Yeah, alleged victim. Sorry.
So she's alleging like what she's alleging. At the end of the day, mark my words, Antony's not going out there by himself and put this out without his lawyer say so. His lawyer say so. So I'd be shocked if he was doing this. Because I don't know what alleged. I don't know if those Ingrid have bought a court case or she's just saying that, he's a wrong gun. I don't know if but the only person who's bringing a court case apparently, or wants to bring court, is the mother or is his baby mother.
Baby mother, the ex-girlfriend, the
ex-girlfriend. So at the end of the day, he's releasing that, trying to show her like she's a gold digger and she's been hounding him. That's what he's trying to show about Ingrid, whoever she is. So I'm not like, I just think it's a shame that it goes to that and people are releasing. You were saying something, Aaron, before. People are releasing certain things. What were you saying about? You were saying something about it before.
Yes.
There's a release. Yeah, there's another one that's came out right now. Sorry to cut you off there, Aaron, but there's a conversation between Ingrid and the other woman that you're talking about there on the phone. And there's a phone conversation. The phone conversation is quite long. Yeah, 2 women. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, the 2 women.
Yeah. But go on, Aaron. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say what you said, Saeed. So the conversation, Nurdin, is between the 2 women that accused Antony, if I'm not wrong. And the transcript of that phone conversation has been released to the United Stand. So they've got it. So they released the transcript so you can read it like line for line. I haven't read everything. I'm going to have to read.
So these 2 women have got together to try to stitch him up, basically. Is that what you're looking at?
I don't know. Well, I'll have to read it. When we finish the stream, I'm going to read through the whole transcript to see what was said. Maybe the chat knows what was said. Maybe the chat knows. But
can we go through it? Do you want to go through it?
Bro, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I can't lie to you. Let me go through it then. Let me go through it.
It's 4 pages, though.
4 pages, Nuruddin, man.
No, you have to go through it. You don't have to go through it. You don't have to go through it. You don't.
I don't know the most important bit. Someone highlighted the most important. But basically, this is a conversation that they're having, and it's just kind of let's read the first bit. Let's read it. Hey, hello, and Ingrid says hello as well. Call me normal. I'm not listening to you. Normal. I can't call you. There's no way. Can you hear me? Hello. Yeah, I'm listening. Hey, what's up? So Ingrid says, so Globo is looking for me. Record wants me to know if Antony was ready. Has already hit me. Dude, like, that's effed up. I don't know if this girl did that, She wants to put blame on me. If he really did that business with her. I don't believe he's aggressive, right? Ingrid says, but the guy's always looking for me here. I know I made a mistake with him, but he knows he made a mistake with me. He just used me and took me out, right? He's always deserved a bomb from me, but what she's doing with him is not being fair, and he needs me. I'll go to the media. So it looks like to me, like, one of them situations where it becomes a toxic situation. Someone said I'm reading Shakespeare, bro. I couldn't. I need glasses for that shit, man. I'm trying to read like that, bro. I'm like, yo, is this Shakespeare?
That's the comment of the century, Saeed. I need to get out, man. You need to pick that person up, mate.
Bro, the language is difficult because it's not proper language, is it? It's almost like you're paraphrasing like someone else's, like, you know what I mean? Like, people get
from Portuguese. Listen,
Portuguese. So I'm like,
to English, and it's not gonna land.
It's so phonetic. It's so, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, bro, I'm speaking like, when you speak to a guy who doesn't know English, I do this a lot. Yeah, when someone doesn't know English, I say, yes, brother, you're okay. Can I get you something from the shops? Like, I don't speak like, you're right, lad. How you doing, mate? I don't do that. Like, people say it shouldn't be done, but I just do that, bro. Like, it's just,
you know them ones when you go into a local man's shop, and he doesn't speak English, so you start speaking in codes. You're like, boss, water, please, water.
Yeah, that's it, bro. That's it, man. So that's all I'm doing right now. Agua, you know what I mean? So yeah, man.
I need you to put that statement. I need to shout that person out. Who said it, man? Who said it to me? Sounds like.
Let me go back, man. Oh, man. Shahid Shakespeare. That's it, man. Shakespeare FC. But you know what? I'm
tired
of reading. I'm tired of reading statements, man. I've had enough. My brain's, you know what I mean? It's discombobulated. Is that a word? Discombobulated.
Yeah,
My
it's true.
brain is
That's the correct word.
discombobulated.
That's the correct word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I've got a word right.
Apparently, there was another statement. Sorry to cut you off there. There was another statement about what was it about yesterday that I read? The Red Army or something like that. There was
the TRL.
What was that?
What's
about?
the story behind that? I don't know that. I've seen a bit of that.
Because of the sit-in, they did the sit-in, didn't they? They sit-in. They did the sit-in with the
hour
after the game against Nottingham Forest. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So the Greater Manchester Police are like, now what they're doing, the club and from my understanding, I could be totally wrong here. From my understanding, they don't want any more sit-ins because the club don't want to pay for more, and that's why they
waste their time. Because United can only pay a certain amount of money for the police. Because after the game, the police have to go. The police go around about half an hour after the game. But now you're saying we've got to be here for another hour and a half. Nah, mate, you need to pay us more.
And they're not getting paid. Okay, I get it now.
They're not getting paid.
I personally think it's between the club and the Greater Manchester Police that try to squeeze the fans not to do sit-ins. That's my point of view. Bro.
Maybe I get it. I get it.
Though. Working. The protest is working. The sit-in worked. It was successful. We had a party and it worked. And people don't want that. They don't want that. And
there you go.
It's a great place to have. But the Glazers might be, to me, call me a conspiracy. The Glazers are feeling a squeeze, mate. They don't want that. They don't want people sitting in. They don't want that. What next? And they try to prevent it. What did the club say? Because that's important.
Yeah, let me read a statement. It wasn't from the club, actually. It was from the Manchester United.
It was. Yes,
what do you call it?
Yeah, Manchester United.
Let me read it.
I can't remember.
1 second. Yeah, here it is. Another statement, guys. It's not coming directly from the United account, but it's coming directly from the people. It says here, the club is aware that a statement has been made by the Red Army today informing its members that the group will not be managing the atmosphere section for our fixture against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup and Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League. The statement reads that approximately 2 weeks ago, we were given information that led us to believe TRA has been classified as a risk group. For clarity, Manchester United never considered or classified TRA as a risk group. In early March, following a statement by TRA in S229 for the Barcelona match, local authorities stated in a communication to the club that TRA might be a risk group. We immediately discussed the issue with the leaders of the TRA and agreed that Chief Operating Officer would meet with the GMP to question the logic. Our Chief Operating Officer met with GMP police and received information that TRA were not considered a risk group of supporters. The above clarification was shared with the TRA on 26th of May. We have not had any further updates from GMP to say that they reclassified TRA as risk supporters, and we do not expect to. We are disappointed that TRA are not running the section for those cup games as the fixtures do represent, etc., etc. So I don't know. Again, to be honest with you, I still don't get what's going on there. So it's just, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. There's some things I can't say on camera, but afterwards I can talk to you both about it because there's other things. There's internal dynamics within the fan base. And that's all I say right now.
Oh, my
I leave it at that. I leave it at that because,
bro, you know what? I don't want you to tell me. That's how bad it is, man. I don't want you to tell me, man. I'd rather just like.
So basically, but I personally think is people who are in. I'll say it's people who are in with the. Listen, I'll save it for later. But anyway, there's content.
Okay, yeah. You got to be careful now because there's people watching. The Glazers are watching you, mate. So I don't want you to become liable, mate. So watch your mouth, Nuruddin, and stop what you're saying.
I'm watching my mouth when it comes to the Glazers, mate. I'm ready for them. I ain't keeping. Trust me, you ain't triggering me like that, lad.
You're getting banned. Watch your ticket, mate. You're gonna be watching it in the local pub, mate. You ain't watching at the stadium anymore because that's what they're gonna do, man. Once my season ticket's gone, that's it. I'm never stepping foot in Old Trafford, man. So I've got to be careful in terms of organizing things and whatnot. I've stayed away from all of that stuff. So you know what I mean. I will be part of it.
Listen, 100%.
You know,
Manchester United have got more statements and everything surrounding it. But I personally think it's got something to do with the sitting. That's why the TRA, the people who organize the TRA, are basically saying that's. We can't be guaranteed this and that. And a risk, by the way, risk means that those fans might be able to do more protests or more action. That's what the risk So the risk is not like to explain to the people who are watching. Risk is nothing to do with them like being at a risk of bad health or anything like that. Risk is about, will they stop up their protest? And yes, I hope the United fans riot, and I hope that they step up their protest. That is what I think.
Absolutely. So should guys, 1.3K in here, 1,300 watching, not even 500 likes, guys. Come on, everybody, right now. It's not hard. It's one click of a finger, and it looks like that. It's on the bottom of your screen, and hit that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. But you know what, Aaron? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you got the anti situation ongoing right now, and it's developing. How do you reckon it manages in the next couple of weeks? Where do you think it goes next? And is it looking bleak for him? Do you think he comes back? Like, what's your kind of next kind of thinking? Because obviously this is just going to go on and on and on, like forever and ever.
I think this Antony issue, I think he will be away for a while. I'm talking at least until January. I think he'll be gone until then.
Wow.
Yeah, because these things take time, innit? So I think he'll be absent until January at least. So yeah, man, it's gonna be one of those.
Wow, January, you know, because when you look at it, Greenwood was out for a while. I'm not saying they're the same cases, but he was out for a long while until they had to collect all the evidence. You know what I mean? So when you actually understand where it's going, you know what I mean? It's one of them. He may not even be in the country. We don't know yet. He's still in Brazil, right? I don't think he's in Manchester, is he? He's still in Brazil right now.
I think he's still in Brazil, yeah.
Yeah, he's still in Brazil. So he's still in Brazil right now. You get what I'm saying? So that for him is not looking good, man. You get me? So he'll have to stay over there. Obviously, the GMP are doing their stuff right now. But bro, man, it's now becoming, like I said to you, Netflix FC. Manchester United are Netflix FC, man. Literally every single minute there's a statement, there's something going on with United, and it doesn't seem to be ending. Like, that's the thing with Man United, Norrin. It doesn't seem to be ending. Like, every minute we've not had a rest in this transfer window. This should have been a transfer window where we reflect, we look at what we could do. But Ten Hag has had a lot of problems to deal with now. He has to change everything now in terms of his tactics now. When you actually look at it, because that right hand side, whether you like it or not, it's still a right hand side that's not been. We've not looked at that right hand side and thought, you know what, we're good on that side for a good couple of years. Probably looking at Mason Greenwood when he was there, you kind of looked at it and thought, you know what, he could do a job there. But right now, that right hand side, he's started.
And he wasn't.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, there you go then. So that right hand side is even more kind of prevalent in that regard. So I look at it and I'm like, Nuruddin, man, it's another job and it's another area that Ten Hag has to. But you know what? When you look at Ten Hag now, I'm not saying he regrets everything or whatnot, but is he looking at that thinking, you know what, man? What is got, like, the two guys that I've got, Antony and Sancho, both out for different reasons. Like, he must be thinking, bloody hell, man, what is this?
Yeah, of course.
What is going on?
Listen, because of the way they do the PR, isn't it? That brings more eyes on Manchester United, because we're a club that's built on not success on the football pitch, not competing. We're built on PR and propaganda. So, of course, that's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. It's going to draw these eyes. And we are a Netflix special. I coined it a long time ago, but I'm still waiting for the people who are calling me negative. And it's simple as to say, Manchester United have to get the house in order, and we have to be able to. So, we're going to focus on the United Real Therapy, the Real Red podcast. We're going to focus on can the club and the players, well, the manager and the players, really focus on the games coming up. Because under all this spotlight, that's why Antony had to be taken out. Because you can't focus, because that's going to affect performances. Could you imagine if we went away this weekend? We were playing somewhere away, or we're going to play Newcastle, or we're going to go into Anfield, or we're going to play at the Etihad. It would be Saeed. It would be like the fans and everything, and all of the drama that's surrounding this guy. So Antony has to stay away for a while. But I don't think his Manchester United career is over, unless there's some damning evidence that comes out. But in terms of the right wing, we don't sign players, Saeed. Nobody gets a chance at this football club. Now, here's a massive opportunity for somebody on the right-hand side now. A huge opportunity for somebody on the right-hand side. So it has to be done. Somebody is got to come and literally make this they're in.
No, but let me ask you a question, guys, yeah? Pellistri or bring back Sancho? I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I think it should be Pellistri. I think Pellistri deserves this chance. I can't think of a player who has looked good every time he's played. I don't think Pellistri's had a bad game for Man United. You know, when you actually look at his impact, I've never looked at Pellistri and thought, Aaron, you know what? Like he doesn't look great, or he doesn't look ready, or not even just kind of like I've had bad vibes from him every time I've watched Pellistri. Aaron, he's looked good every single time.
It's like because I watched your stream earlier today from yesterday, and it's like Double A said. He's someone that starts for his country, man. Someone that starts for his country, you can't question. Well, if you want to question, fair enough, but I can't question his ability. And I think we've seen enough in preseason. We've seen enough last season when he did the little Europa League cameos, came onto the right hand side, gave an assist as well. I think it was Betis or Barcelona. Was it Betis? I think it was Betis. Gave an assist straight away when he came on. He can do a job on that right hand side. So I would play him, man. Do you know what I mean? He's not gone out on loan. So clearly Ten Hag includes him in his plans. So, I would keep. Are you still there? I think Said's frozen.
Yeah, we're still here. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, yeah. I think Said's frozen. But yeah, Pellistri deserves a chance, man. He deserves a chance. So, yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
No, I don't think anybody is. And that's how people make opportunities. We remember Rashford. 2 players got injured. Rashford jumped on. Boom. The rest is history. So at the end of the day, Pellistri deserves a chance. I think Ahmad deserves a chance as well. But with this club, we don't even know that they don't even disclose what's happening with the players who are injured there, and they don't even tell us what's going on. The timings where we're expecting players back, everything's kept back. So it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But listen, people, smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel.
Smash a like.
If you're not already, get Said to 100k, man. He's working hard, mate. 3 streams a day, mate. He's not messing about. So big up to everybody. I think Pellistri does deserve an opportunity. But would he get it though, Aaron? That's the question. Would he get it? Or does the manager now think, ooh, my player? And at the end of the day, Erik Ten Hag is his player. Whether, you know what I mean? That's who he is. Is he going to now think, you know what, I got to keep that. I can't have somebody coming and performing and shining. And then my player, then 80 million pound player is thrown under the bus. And by the way, it's not Ten Hag's fault that he was bought for 80 million. When Ten Hag wanted him, he was 50 million. 15th of June, Antony was 55 million at the most.
Yeah, we took our time with it. That was the situation. We took our time with the Antony situation. That was obviously what he took in that regard. But when I go back to Pellistri, yeah, and I look at what the manager will do, I personally don't believe that Pellistri will get a chance. I really do. I don't think the manager will do it. I don't think he's ever. I don't know. Has he took a gamble? I think a lot of it has been a lot of safe options. Garnacho, I would look at, he's giving him impact games and whatnot, but he's a bit different, more exciting, more. But with Pellistri, I don't know if he'll take that gamble, guys. I think he'll play Bruno Fernandes on the right. And it depends on how Amrabat's fit and if McTominay's fit. Because McTominay for England is a different story. Sorry, for Scotland is a different story. So I think he may play McTominay in the middle, then put Bruno back on the right. Because you've got to remember, we're playing Bayern Munich on Wednesday night. Yeah. So he'd rather fix him now, say, you know what, Brighton, let's play him on the right, and then we can maybe get him for Bayern Munich. Because that's what will happen. Sancho ain't playing against Bayern Munich, and he ain't going to play, for me, I don't think so, against Brighton. So it's going to be Bruno now until...
Miss me out with that, Said. I'm not having Bruno on the right, mate. I'm not having it. I'm sorry, I'm not having it.
Well, it will happen. Who's going to play on the right? Tell me.
I'm not having it. Now that we've got centre forward, we need people that can put a ball in the box for this guy and can go on the outside. Bruno ain't doing that. Give Pellistri a fucking chance, man. Or give Sancho a chance. Because Sancho, I don't think Sancho is having that talks today, innit? They're having that talk. They had that talk today. But it's clear the club did not want Sancho. The Ten Hag doesn't rate Sancho. And he should have been then allowed to go in the summer. They should have found the club. He's Sancho's agent. The club could have come to an understanding and it could have been gone in the summer. But no, he's kept there, just like Donny is kept there because they failed to agree a package with Real Sociedad. So at the end of the day, listen, everywhere you look at it, Murta madness. Murta what? Murta absolutely what? So at the end, when I look at this, he needs Pellistri needs to be given chance. And what do I always say to you, Said? You need at least 6 or 7 games 8 games in a row for you starting there to see if the player's there. Then you take him out, bring him in, take him out. But I'm not having Bruno. I'm sorry to say, people, I'm not having Bruno as a right on the right. I'm not. You tell me, both you and Aaron tell me, when was the last time Bruno had a one good game on the right?
Nah, I think it was a derby maybe last year against Man City. I think that was the last game he had a decent game. But I think it was a game where he was more so for his hard work rather than his actual impact. I know he scored a goal and whatnot, but it wasn't a situation where I looked at it and I thought he had an amazing game on the right side.
He didn't score a goal from the right-hand side. I'm looking at specifically from the right-hand side. He impacted the game hugely.
Yep. No, it's spot on. It's spot on. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know. With the Sancho situation right now, yeah, it depends on Ten Hag's ego as well. It depends on whether he wants to make a stance here and says, you know what, Sancho, you're not going to play now. I might even put you in the reserves. He might do that. He might say, you know what, you're not playing and you're going to be benched. You're not that guy. And you know what, you're going to be benched right now. And that's it. Until further notice, until you can train, to his eyes, say, until you train properly, you're not playing for me. And then it becomes a situation where it gets even more sticky. Because a lot of people are now saying, why has he not unpinned his situation, the chat? Maybe not had a chat. We don't know yet. They were meant to report back for training today. We've not seen the pictures today. We've not even seen any reports that Ten Hag was there or Sancho came through. Normally, when you have them little photos, Nuruddin, of when they're coming into training, we've not even had them today. So maybe that they've banned photographers from coming inside the stadium. I don't know. I don't know when they're meant to report for training.
It's outside the training. You mean outside the training? They banned.
Yeah, when they come in. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know yet. So I look at it, I think, you know what? I'm wherever with Ten Hag wants in it. We have to back the manager. That's the main thing, guys. You have to back the manager. You have to see what he does. But ultimately, it's a very, very sticky situation now because now, if Ten Hag backs down, everyone's going to call him weak. If Jadon Sancho doesn't play, everyone's going to say Ten Hag's got an agenda, and even when Antony's not here, he can't play him. It's a very, very ugly situation right now. That's just the way I kind of look at it. You can't really win. Ten Hag can't really win. Or the situation, there's no kind of real outcome unless, like I said to you, they beef it. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I'll let you go first. You go first.
Yeah. So I'd say it's simple. The Manchester United should have. You have to get ahead of the situation. If we had a proper football structure, they would have got ahead of the situation. They would have got ahead of the situation. They would have looked at a player, manager's not rated by him. He was one of the people on the list. So when you put Sancho on the list, you said he's on the list to be, and Manchester United would have wanted 50 million, and anybody who's willing to pay 50 million, they would have took it. That player position is untenable then. Because the player knows we're not rating. So when a player is trying hard in training and he knows he's not going to get picked and the manager don't fancy him, why does he think that he's going? I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm just saying to you, that's how the mentality works. That's how the mentality works. So when you feel like, oh, nobody fancies me, the manager doesn't fancy me, to me, modern young footballers have to take control of their football careers. They've got to find themselves another football club and move on. Sancho didn't do that. That's why it's come to a head. Because the manager's saying that you're not putting it in training. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. That's the worst insult you could say to a player. You can label all sorts of things at player. You know what? In this game today, you were poor. Your running stats weren't great. But to say you did not train properly as a professional footballer, that's a huge insult. That is a huge insult.
Very huge insult.
So at the end of the day, the club now are looking at a player that's worth 300 something grand. Bought for 73 million, and the window's closed, and he's not going to Turkey. My words, he ain't going to Turkey, and he ain't going to Saudi. Saudi option was there, but he ain't going to Saudi either. Let's be right. He's 24 years old. He's not going to Saudi or Turkey. He sees himself as a top professional footballer, wants to play at the highest level in for a European club or a domestic English club. So at the end of the day, can they patch it up till January? That's the question, Saeed. Can they be amicable till January?
Both sides, yeah.
On that. Because, I agree with you. You have to back the manager. Because at the end of the day, he makes the calls, the signings, playing Bruno on the right. All these things have to be. Well, the results are not great. and the football ain't great, he's going to be the one that's taking the hit. So he's got to live and die by his principles. Managers who do half-hearted things you're going to get sacked anyway. All managers should start with the premise that, you know what, I can get sacked at this football club, so I've got to do it my way. Regardless what we fans think, regardless what the media thinks, they've got to do it his way.
His way, yeah, of course. He's got to do it, and this is why I said, manager can say what he wants to say, but then also the player can defend himself. Both can be right at the same time, but also both can be equally wrong in that it should have been kept in the bud, like should have been nipped in the bud. Sorry, but I don't know, man, Aaron. If you're a player right now and you're looking at it, I don't know if you've seen situations in Germany or situations like that. Like, do you think it ends well? Do you think one player wins? Do you think a player thinking, you know what? My ego and you know what, people are gonna think I'm weak, man. Like I need to be strong. I need to show that I can't show my weakness, man. You know, like how would you feel like if you're looking at it from that point of view there?
I think as a player, it's important to have pride and it's important to show character. But at the end of the day, even some of the biggest players went to the gaffer's office, sat down with them, and said, "Yo, listen, let's talk about it." Do you know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is like the Samuel Eto'o story when he moved to Inter Milan and Mourinho benched him. For the first few games, Samuel Eto'o was sulking, thinking that was going to work. And then he went to Mourinho's office and and Mourinho said something to him, I can't remember. And Samuel Eto'o looked right in his face and he said to him, Samuel Eto'o doesn't sit on the bench. And Mourinho went, now I've got my player. And the rest is history. So maybe that's what Sancho needs to do. That's what I said. As soon as the whole Antony story came out, I tweeted a picture of him and I said, Sancho, get into the gaffer's office now. Sort out whatever problems you got. And because this is a golden opportunity for you to get 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. Get into his office, hash out whatever you need to hash out, get it off the table, get rid of that statement on Twitter, and then you go again. That's it.
Yes, simple. It can be resurrected. His career can, he can do something this season. That's what I said to people. Like, he can do something this season. He may be on borrowed time. I think he's on very, very much borrowed time. Like, you would argue he should have been sold in the summer for the right price. But through tough times, you find certain things that go your way. And again, it's not by obviously the way anybody wants it. It's like you never want a player to be injured. And I'll say in this situation here, Sancho doesn't wish any bad thing to happen to any player. But this situation has happened. Now it's you versus you. You're not, we're not talking about a player now that has 1,000 people ahead of him. He is better than Pellistri. When you look at it experience-wise and just in general, what you can do on the pitch in terms of being efficient, probably, Pellistri might have one over him. But when you look at it now, Nuruddin, do you think he has a mentality to say, you know what, I can do this? When you look at Sancho right now and says, can I turn it around? Can I get goals? Can I get consistency? Can I get assists? Can I just be a positive thorn in this team? Like, can I do that? And if you don't, while this is all happening, then you've only got yourself to blame. I don't think the fans should be blamed for backing him. I don't think anybody should be blamed for even criticizing him. It's you, my friend. You haven't shown the capabilities of doing it. Now, this is almost a last chance for him. And you said it a couple of months. Can you do it? Because a lot of big games, Champions League nights, this ain't no joke.
At the end of the day, it's simple, isn't it? Like, I look at it Jadon Sancho hasn't pulled up trees, but then Manchester United have not been a club where you pull up trees. Manchester United have been a club where signings go and die. And yes, this can take personal responsibility. And this is not individual sport. I'm not defending him. I'm just laying out being objective from what I see from the outside. It's not individual. It's not tennis. So you can't say solely on him. You need a team to function. You need a manager to back you, and then you need to back yourself. First, you need to back yourself, and then a manager, get in train, put the time in, effort in. But for me, when Manchester United, the club, has started leaking that he was under sale for the right money, that's where the players like, oh, the manager don't rate me, the club don't want me. So then sometimes players down too. So they're human. That happens. Yeah. Now, the club then to bring about the situation and move the player on by any means necessary. Yeah, same with Donny. You do what you have to do to get the player out of there. It's healthy. when you've got players that the manager don't fancy, they're waiting around. You're only asking for trouble, Saeed. You're asking for trouble.
Facts.
But yes,
Facts. I know.
They have Jadon Sancho in a privileged position. That he's part of the 0.0% footballers who made it. And is he a talented player? Yes. Has he got to knuckle down and force the coaches and the manager to be undeniable? Yes, he can do that. And I hope he does that. And in January, then he gets headed out. That's the only way for me.
Simple, yeah. Simple.
That's the only way. But in terms of, I'm not just going to blame Jadon Sancho. I'm blaming the football club as well.
Yeah, we bought him without no plan. When you look at it, though, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like he did with when we bought Donny van der Beek. And by the way, Donny van der Beek, the story that's coming out today is quite sad on his part, that United weren't willing to kind of pay the wages that were going to allow him to move on. It's a bit of an indictment on his career, just bad luck, really. But when I look at it and you realise it, Nordin, I do hear that, man. I don't think anybody's pulled trees in this Man United team. Only you would argue Bruno Fernandes has done his bit, Rashford has done his bit. Everyone else, they're newbies, isn't it?
Has anybody been consistent? No, they haven't.
Not for 3-4 seasons. We're not talking about De Bruyne. We're not talking about a guy, you know what I mean? We're not talking about these top players. No, we're not. But then again, we have 3 or 4 players that do well. Yeah. But there you go.
We're not that football club where people can thrive. We're not. We're a graveyard for managers and top player and talent. Because it's not like all these guys are not talented, but we're a graveyard for it. And why? Yeah. Ask yourselves why. Why is it becomes unstable? The only guy that's turned it around, but he didn't bring any public statements. He didn't put anything on Twitter. It's Wan-Bissaka. That in the manager's eyes, he's knuckled down and got himself back into a thing. And do I think in the long term, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a type of player for Manchester United, for Eric Ten Hag style of play? No, he's not. No, he's not. So, and you know
what? Let me ask you a question though.
You know that we've been linked. For how many right backs have Manchester United been linked? Even when
loads.
Wan-Bissaka on good form. Can he handle the ball up the pitch? Technically.
Yeah, he's getting a new contract, by the way, Wan-Bissaka. So, shout out to him. He's turned it around.
That doesn't mean, Saeed, that you're here forever. That just means that the club can bargain.
Yeah, more, of course. I get that. But you know what it is, though? I don't like to compare players, you know. When people keep talking about Wan-Bissaka's put his head down and he's got on with it. I think some players do that, though, Nuruddin. They do just get on with it and they don't really moan. When I look at Wan-Bissaka on a football pitch, he never moans for tackles. He doesn't moan to the referee. I think he's a quiet, reserved guy. Whereas, obviously, Sancho, people say he is, but deep down, he's very, very passionate in that way. Doesn't excuse what he's done, by the way, or the lack of, poor performance he's had. But I think certain players deal with it in a different way. So Wan-Bissaka might not do it, and you might just carry on and say, you know what, I will do this. But certain players will be like, well, I feel like I'm playing better than that player, and we'll have a bit of a moan. But sometimes moaning, it can be conflated. It can be conflated to the point where you're thinking he's just a little bit of a sore loser. He's also like a spoiled brat. But maybe he does care. And now this is what I'm saying. When people like fans have faith in you and say, right, come on then, show it. Then come on, man. You can't keep letting the fans down, man. Can't keep letting yourself down. Forget the fans. Can't keep letting yourself down. That's just the way I kind of look at it, man. So listen, I think for me, Sancho should have been sold in the summer. But I do also believe that, you know what? He needs a bit of consistency in terms of game time as well, like a run of games. And if he does have them run of games, then I don't think anybody can have excuses for him and say, you know what, see you later. Like, you can do you. Go and do it and perform. That's just the way I kind of look at it.
Have you got a couple of super chats? Have you checked the super chats out?
Big up to if found innocent, he can sue all for defamation. I'm a City fan, but respect to you both. And big up Kelly says the club is still making money on all of this drama. Of course, man. Of course. There's a couple of people in the chat say, "Oh, Saeed, man, why'd you keep talking about this, etc." Bro, is there anything else to talk about, bro? Like, what do you want me to talk about? Man United is drama. I don't think you guys realize we don't want to talk about it. We want to talk about winning trophies. But it just seems to me that Manchester United just love it. They love the traction. They love what's going on right now. They love it. They don't really care what's happening on the football pitch. They don't care about winning, really. They just care about, you know what? Are we at the center of attention? Because certain clubs now they're so bad, yeah. But I always keep thinking, like, if you're bad and you're someone that's irrelevant and you've not done anything, then why don't people stop talking about you? But it's actually the opposite. When you are not doing well, but you're still creating headlines, you then have a lot of use. Because Man City right now, yeah, they're winning stuff, yeah. But like you won't hear a word out of them. Everything's calm over there. But United are not winning anything, and it's all just drama, drama. It should be the focus would be on them, give them more praise. But again, negativity sells, isn't it? I suppose. You know what I mean? That's what the old saying is. So I don't know, man. I look at it and I think, you know what, man, this needs to be sorted out, man, Aaron, man. I think for me, this week,
It needs to.
big week. And you know what? We move as a football club and we head into a direction. And you know what? We actually go, you know what? This is it now. We're starting to concentrate on the season. Because I kid you not, man, guys, there's a lot of way gone to the season. A big road ahead, man. Like this is just 4 games in. 10th of the season. People are not realizing how long this season is, man. It's not just right now, man. It's a lot of season, man, Aaron.
Yeah, but and the thing is, instead of being happy, because it feels like we just forgot that we signed Amrabat. He's been announced. Some of the injured players are rumored to come back soon. That's been forgotten as well. Like we're meant to be excited that the likes of Kobe Mainoo might be back. Mason Mount might be available again. Amrabat is. He's there. He's training at Carrington. Højlund looks in form with Denmark. They just qualified for the Euros. We're meant to be excited for all these players coming back, and we're going 100% because we've got Brighton, Bayern Munich after that. We're meant to be excited, but no. What are we doing instead? We're all making videos about Man United statements. So we're meant to be happy. We're meant to be excited.
Are you worried about the season though? Are you worried that the season could actually turn for the worse? Because a lot of people are worried. They're saying, like Killer saying, I'm worried about the season. Do you think the manager's strong enough to kind of withstand, you know what I mean? Like Thor, like that Thor man's got the hammer, like he's just ready to just any problems, like bang. Like
Listen,
can the manager be Thor?
I'll give Ten Hag his props because I'm already giving him his props because if he manages to get through this as well and still manages, to make us have a decent season, let's say.
A statue.
What this man's been through in the last 16 months is unbelievable. Certain managers would have quit. I promise you. Certain managers would have quit. Especially, I think the biggest thing probably for me was the Ronaldo situation, bro. Ronaldo situation. Any other manager, apart from the elites, they would have quit because, come on, man. What he's been through so far.
I hate you.
Every time he comes out, somehow he comes out unscathed, bro. And not bothered. Always the same face, that serious face that he's got when he's on the touchline. I've got to give him his props, man, because, bro, any other manager, you would have seen that it affected him somehow. He started to get emotional. If this was Jose, oh my days. Could you imagine what this guy would have said in press conferences?
Jose would have been like, heritage.
Could you imagine
three trophies?
Could you imagine the Ronaldo interview and then Jose Mourinho afterwards in a press conference?
He wouldn't have cared what the club would have said. The club would have briefed it to say this and say that. He would have said, listen, Ronaldo, he's very arrogant. Players in the past like Milito and them, man, would die for the badge. They were real men. They were real people. They were, you know what I mean? He would have said about there's a way of winning. He would have looked at it and thought Ronaldo's pride and it would tarnish his career and people would look at him. He would have went for him in that kind of way, in that personal way, Mourinho.
You know what? One thing about Ten Hag that I do rate, even though sometimes it annoys me, is the stubbornness. He's stubborn and he stands his ground, bro. Stands his ground. You can't make him change.
No matter what.
No matter what, bro. And that's why I respect that about him because, like I said, sometimes it can annoy me as a fan. But you know what? I can look at him and say, you know what? I respect him because when he says yes, cool. When it's no, it's no. And when he makes up his mind about something, he doesn't change his mind. And I respect that.
Yeah, big up to everybody who's there, man. 1.2K, nearly 1.3K in here. Only 530 likes. Let's get that up to at least 800 people, man. Yeah, I know, Nuruddin. I always think about that. How is it crazy?
That's a disgrace.
Guys, get the likes up, people. Let's get to 800. Yeah, man. Mocking it, innit, man?
You guys
I'm
need to,
saying to you, man.
you guys need to take advantage now, because who knows? In 5 to 10 years, YouTube might make you pay to like a video. So do it for free now.
Yeah, do it for free now, man. I appreciate the support, people, man. But it helps the channel out massively. City all the way. Let me ask you, guys, has this guy changed his team? Because he used to be called United all the way. Have you changed your team? Do you remember this guy? I don't know if you remember him, Nordin. But there used to be a super chatter called United. I don't know if this guy's changed his team, you know. City all the way. Have you changed your team? Because I remember you used to send the super chats in dollars. So I don't know, man. I don't like this glory hunting. Have you moved over to the blue side? Let me know, my friend. Guys in the comments, I don't know if you know, but there's a guy in the super chats, he's saying United all the way. I don't know if he's changed. But he says here, as a Scottish City fan, I always find it weird why your team always played him in a defensive midfielder when he's not one. He's been fantastic for us. 8 GA in 5 games and a perfect record in the Euros. Yeah, man. McTominay for Scotland is a different. And also, have you noticed here? McTominay is always fit. Yeah, McTominay you're talking about. McTominay is always fit, man. The guy's always fit. Why is he always fit for Scotland? But then for United, he just finds this injury. I find it baffling. He can play 2 games in a week for Scotland, yeah? But Man United, he's missing here. He goes missing there. I don't know if it's whether Ten Hag wants players who are fit, and if they have a slight injury, you're not playing, or he just kind of like doesn't take it. I don't know, bro. Like, I find it very, very weird. Pellistri, he's ready. Done it. Everyone from their countries, it's like they're ready. But then when it's United, injuries. It's wild, man.
I always said that. I was one of the people to say that. Scottish ex-United all the way now, City all the way. Saeed airing him out, you know, in public.
Bro, listen, I had to, man.
Saeed's on to you. At the end of the
City
day,
all the way. Let me know.
Listen, it's simple. He was never on number 6, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer both said to all the fan base, him and Fred, said to both of them, both of you are defensive midfielders. They're not defensive midfielders. They might be able to cover if you need an emergency, but they're not. And at the end of the day, he's a box-to-box number 8. He's challenging for balls. He's got the height. He's that guy. He's that guy. But playing for your country means a lot more to him than play for Manchester United. If you look at that, the past injury record. And I always said, same thing with Antony. Remember, I was on to Antony from earlier on. Now things are starting to make sense. Remember what I was telling you? Antony all of a sudden disappeared out of the club. Nobody knows what kind of injury he's got, and all of that is quite secretive. But we know now.
But he had a car crash that day. He had a car crash. I did say, though, he had a car crash.
Yeah. One time he had a car crash. But joining Brazil, like, all of a sudden being injured and then being fit for Brazil for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Dodgy.
It is.
At the end of the day, it's what it is. So we don't know. And Erik Ten Hag, one thing Aaron said, he is quite secretive about players' injuries. And some people are transparent, and he's not. So he's basically saying what he's saying. But when I look at the Scott McTominay, I'm like, good luck to Scotland. I got nothing but love for the Scottish people. And I'm happy that I hope they qualify. And I can't wait to see that. Are they playing tonight or tomorrow? England?
England, Scotland.
Tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow, you know. Yeah, tomorrow at 7:45 tomorrow.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we'll see what he's about when they come, you know, when they come up against the team, you know, like England. We'll have a look at that. But for me, his form, I got nothing. It was never personal with Scott McTominay, and it's never with any of the fan base. I don't think it was personal. It's just that we think he's not up to the standard and good enough to play for Manchester United. And yes, the videos are out there. My guy hiding. He's there. It's there to be seen, not wanting the ball. And to me, that says a lot about a player. But when you put him in a different role, you build a system that can get the best out of players, then he does what he does. He hides the deficiencies, and it shows the quality of the player. So that's what it is when it comes to Scott McTominay. As far as Manchester United moving forward, these 2 games are huge. I cannot stress that. And we're going to be breaking that down on United Real Therapy soon after. In a minute.
It's a big game, man. Bayern and Brighton.
They're big games because let's not forget, we lost the last game. People think that because that's what I'm saying to you. Manchester United could have conspiracy theory will say Manchester United orchestrated this all so that we don't talk about the Arsenal game. And to be fair, we didn't even at that same night, Sancho thing comes out. The next day, Antony thing comes out. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how do you make Manchester United forget about the 3-1 loss at the Emirates? Again, the away record is in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people like you, Saeed, and people like Aaron, we've not rested because we've had to make videos. For me, I had to take a step away because it's not been good for my mental health. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had to step away for a bit because I'm like, this is a circus. Aspect of it is a laugh and joke. And the other aspect of it, I feel vindicated because I said the club was toxic. I said that.
But you don't want to be vindicated, do you? You'd rather the club was doing well.
I'd rather I was wrong. Wrong. But it is what it is.
No, it is what it is, man. We have to wait and see, man. This football club it's a Netflix that is Man United, mate. And you know what? By the time this video ends, I'm telling you now, you might have a statement tonight. So be prepared. The XG for statements is very, very high, people. It's very, very high, man. The XG that Man United are on right now, I'd say the XG is about 3. You know what I mean? Right now, if you're in a football match right now, expect an XG of 3. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very high. You know, so that's all I would say, man. And it is a Netflix comedy show. That's why I titled the video Netflix FC. More Antony statements, more Antony drama. We don't know what's going to happen with Sancho now, how he comes back, how he gets back into things and whatnot. It is literally a car crash. It really, really is, man. So we'll see. But guys, please like the video on your way out. Make sure you're doing that. It helps the channel out massively. You know, if this show gets out to more people, it will only be done so by your like on the video, not your super chat, not everything else that you guys support the channel from. And I do appreciate it, but more so your like on the video. That's the reason for it. But yeah, Aaron, big up to you as well for coming on, my guy. Appreciate it, man.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure, my guy.
Big up, bro. Make sure you find him, Aaron Sakaya, on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you follow that. United Real Therapy, like I said, we're going to be live in a bit now as well now. So make sure you head over to that. And yeah, man, until next time on United Netflix FC. Maybe that might be our new name, United Netflix FC. We're out, guys. Take care, man.